Welcome to the business of inner peace. I'm your host, Erin Jean. Today, we're diving into a powerful topic: how to use your memory to benefit yourself rather than harm yourself. So, grab your favorite drink and let's dive in.
Let's pretend we're sitting in my living room enjoying a cup of coffee or tea and getting to know each other just a little better. That's what I love. I love getting to hear your story. I love feeling connected by the spirit of understanding that our stories bring. Today, I'm sharing some of my story, but I hope someday soon you'll be telling me yours. Listen, I know that you're feeling overwhelmed with life and nothing is exactly how you'd like it to be. Your marriage is not what you hoped for. Motherhood is harder than you imagined, and you've lost yourself somewhere in the mix of responsibilities. Well, if you're ready to bring some more peace and joy into your life, reconnect with God who made you, and start living a life you love, then grab your cup of coffee or tea and let's dive into today's show.
Hi, friends. Welcome back. Thanks for joining me. So, let's talk about memory today. We all have memories, but how often do we consciously choose which ones to focus on? So, today I thought it'd be fun to explore how we can harness the power of our memories to create positive changes in our lives. So many of us unknowingly use our memory in ways that keeps us stuck. This is totally me. Oh my goodness. I had a few traumatic events ready to go on replay in my mind. And I would think about them often. And wow, I can really see now how it was absolutely keeping me stuck in misery, complete misery. Anyhow, let's talk about some ways that you actually might be doing this. So, if you find yourself dwelling on past mistakes or traumas, if you are replaying negative experiences, if you're using past failures to predict future outcomes, you can also be creating fear and worry about the future based on past events. So if you can relate to any of that, you are definitely using your memory to keep you stuck. So this selective focus on negative memories, it can lead to anxiety, depression, and a sense of being trapped in our past. But here's the thing: we absolutely have a choice in how we use our memories. There's good news. It's not all doom and gloom. So, step one is to notice what you're noticing. And really, that just means that you're being really mindful and you're aware of what your mind is thinking about. Like, actually bring some focus and awareness to the thoughts that are going through your head every day. So, if you catch yourself in a loop of worrying about the future or replaying painful moments of the past, literally say out loud to yourself, stop, stop, stop. You can put your hand out like a little stop sign and create a physical and an auditory pattern interrupt for yourself. A pattern interrupt is literally stopping a thinking pattern that's used to running. And it's so helpful to throw up a pattern interrupt, which I know if you're like with other people, you might feel like you're a little crazy. You're like in the middle of a conversation and all of a sudden, stop, stop, stop. I know it might seem a little bit weird, but you can just do it and then tell them what's going on because they could end up being actually a partner for you if you're saying, "Oh my goodness, I'm trying to stop the pattern of speaking like that." So I'm doing this little technique to as a pattern interrupt. They might join you the next time they catch you, which would be fun. You might be more comfortable the first few times practicing this alone. I get it. But the idea here is to create this pattern interrupt and give yourself the physical and the auditory. If you are alone, say it out loud. Don't just say this in your head. Like, say it out loud because there's power in your brain hearing it. If somebody looks at you crazy, even better, because you might actually start laughing or get embarrassed. And that's actually good news because it's a different emotion for your brain to experience than the one it's used to experiencing around those memories and thoughts. And that's another way to have a really powerful pattern interrupt. And it can help you to rewire unhealthy patterns in your mind. So remember, the brain is neuroplastic and it can create new patterns and connections, but we do have to help it. We have to help it along on creating those new patterns. So instead of letting our memories control us, we can actually use them as tools for growth and empowerment. And here's how: you can have a selective focus. So that means you're choosing to recall positive experiences and lessons learned. You can also have a gratitude practice. So you can use past memories to cultivate thankfulness. You can build resilience, remembering the past successes that you've had to boost confidence. And you can definitely create a positive future by using good memories as blueprints for what you want to create. Because remember, when things get darkest, then you can see the stars, but only if you remember to look up. So it's such a great exercise to actually push your mind to look for something negative intentionally, but then pause and see if you can find what was good in it. Because inherently, every single thing that happens has a positive and a negative. And this is just a law that God has written into the universe. So let's use the example of like a forest fire, right? That seems on the surface completely negative. But we've learned and understood through science that it actually is really healthy for a forest. It puts new chemicals into the soil, like extra nitrogen. It helps regrowth to happen. So there's a lot of positivity that can come after a forest fire, even though we get so fearful because we see on the surface that it's causing a lot of damage. So let's pause for a moment. And I want you to think of and say out loud, or if you're able to, write down 5 moments in your life when things went really well. So these could be big achievements or small, joyful moments. By focusing on these positive memories, you're building a structure of thinking that reminds you that even when things look dark, you can see the light. So sometimes we need extra help to shift our relationship with certain memories. I had a very specific memory from my relationship with my husband that had a strong emotional charge to it and some significant trauma as well. And I was actually able to do a subconscious healing process to go into that memory and completely rewire the way that it was showing up in my brain. And that's a tool called timeline therapy. So both of those can be super helpful at reducing the emotional charge in a memory. And obviously, facts are facts, right? You can't change the memory itself. But if you go in and you change the emotion that is connected to the memory, it totally changes the whole thing for your brain. So when you think back on the memory, like for me, when I'm thinking back on that memory, now it's just a fact. It's just this thing that happened. There's no more emotional charge involved at all. So I love timeline therapy. It's a technique that allows you to revisit past events in your mind's eye and change their emotional impact. And I love this because the subconscious brain, it actually does not know the difference between reality and imagination, which is a reason why movies are so powerful. And you need to be really mindful of the television and the movies that you watch, because your brain, when you're watching something that's really graphic and scary, right? Your brain doesn't realize that you're not experiencing that. Your conscious mind does, right? But your subconscious doesn't. And so these things can get wired into your brain as if you've had the experience, and it can be not great, right? Especially for children, not great. But the cool thing is we can use this function of the subconscious mind to our advantage, because you can imagine all kinds of wonderful positive things and get it wired into the brain. Athletes actually do this all the time. Top athletes will imagine themselves performing whatever task it is that they're trying to accomplish and doing it successfully. And they will imagine it over and over and over. And it becomes for the brain like a just, yeah, this is just what I do. This is just what happens. And then when it comes to actual performance day, you can do it. You can recreate what you've been imagining. So it's super cool. So, timeline therapy is going to actually use your imagination. The rapid rewire method. So, this one's a powerful approach that helps you transform your feelings and your thoughts around memories that have been leading you down a negative path. And said another way, it's essentially a process that's going to help you reduce the emotional charge on any type of problem, limiting belief, stuck identity. So it's a wonderful way to reduce that emotional charge on a memory. These tools, they are incredibly effective in releasing the hold that painful memories have on us. And they allow us to move forward with a greater sense of ease and joy. I am living proof of that, and I have so many clients that have had that same exact experience. As we are wrapping this episode up, I want to encourage you to be intentional about how you use your memory, because it's a tremendous ability that you have to access that memory and use it to empower yourself, especially during difficult times. And if you're ready to take this work deeper and transform how you relate to your memories, I've got an exciting offer for you. So, as a valued listener of this podcast, you can book a rapid rewire session with me for just $100 instead of the usual $300 price. This is a powerful opportunity to experience firsthand how we can change your relationship with your memories and create lasting positive change. Remember, your memories are tools for growth, they are tools for empowerment. Use them wisely and watch how your life will transform. So until next time, this is Erin Jean. I am wishing you inner peace and powerful and positive memories. Take care.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you're feeling blessed by the content here, the number one way you can show me is by leaving me a written review of the show. I'd be forever grateful. Knowing that you're out there listening helps me know that I'm truly living out God's purpose in my life. The other thing you can do is take a screenshot of this episode, share it with a friend, or better yet, tag me on your Instagram stories. Remember, you are seen, known, and loved. May God richly bless you today. All my love, Erin Jean.